I just put in my pants. Hello guys and welcome to welcome to either episode 2 or 3 depending on which order I upload things, because I was going to upload a video to this podcast but I didn't get the opportunity to because it was longer than 15 minutes. So I need to verify my account, and after I verify my account, then I will be able to upload both, hopefully. So today's episode, podcast, story in the Dacob Daily Podcast, something like that. Anyways, what I want to talk about is fan relationships. Just from me, right? I'll talk about where it began, where it started, and what made me think about that idea, and then I'll tally it out into my perspective, because like at the end of the day, I just like talking. That's why there's a podcast about me, just me, because I just like talking. And if you rock with that, man, thank you. You can listen to me talk. If you don't rock with it, then that's also cool, bro. But anyways, the main reason why, which I might actually open it up now, is because I got a comment on my very first episode, and I have multiple YouTube accounts, mind you, right? I have multiple YouTube accounts. It's the fact that there was a comment on this YouTube account, the very first video I uploaded, was shocking, was surprising. So hopefully you know if you're listening to this, but let me actually take a look. Yeah, bro, fucking Andrew, bro, saying that it popped up and he commented. Anyways, I never read comments, ever, right? I have multiple YouTube accounts, and this is just like one of the YouTube accounts that I have, and I upload on Instagram and TikTok and everything, right? And I get a lot of comments, but I just don't read them. I don't know why. I think they just don't pop up. And for me, I never go out of my way to go on Instagram, to go on TikTok, to look through my comment sections. I feel like that's kind of crazy. It kind of sucks as well though, because if you guys are interested in me, whatever's on my YouTube account or whatever I upload, then I feel kind of bad or responsible, because I feel like you spent time writing that comment or whatever, and I would respond. Honestly, I would. But oftentimes I just don't read it. Like, it just doesn't pop up on my account, and I just never go on those social media websites anyways. And if I do, I don't go on my account, if that makes sense. So while I want to talk about fan interaction, I'm going to hop on another tangent, but bro, I feel so bad if I was in Andrew's spot. So Andrew's the guy that commented on my first podcast, right? Thank you, Andrew. Thank you, bro. Thank you. Anyways, the reason why it's kind of cooked, right, is because it's like, you guys aren't forced to like my videos. You guys aren't forced to do anything. I honestly feel worse if you're forced to do something just because I'm talking to you as an individual, as a person. The worst thing to do, right, because I live stream as well, is like, let's say I live stream, I have one viewer, which is myself, and someone hops in, and I'm like, oh, what's up, bro? Hey, fucking, when you're like, Dacob, oh, bro, Dacob, thank you for coming into my stream, thank you so much, bro. Oh, man, what are you up to, bro? And he starts typing, and I'm like, oh, bro, that's so sick, man. Yeah, I love music, bro. I love music producing. Yeah, you do too, man. That's so sick. I feel bad doing that, because since I only have myself in the chat room and him, he will feel bad to leave, if that makes sense. So like, because he's the only one in my chat, if he leaves, then I'm talking to no one. So if I had a lot of people, then I'll be talking to, you know, a bunch of people. So if he leaves, he doesn't feel like any pressure at all. But if you hop into a YouTube chat room or a Twitch chat room and you're the only one there, I feel bad for you. Okay, so remember this, okay? If you're in my chat room, if you're watching my videos or whatever, and you feel like you have to, you don't. Honestly, I don't care too much, and I feel better if you don't do it, because I feel bad just holding you hostage, right? So now we have that tangent off. That's why I decided to talk about this topic about fan relationships, right? That's why I'm talking about this, just because Andrew popped in my head, man. Thank you, Andrew. But don't feel bad, Andrew, okay? Please. Okay, cool. We're on the same page. Anyways, so the reason why I'm talking about fan interactions is because, like, it's always so interesting to me. I think it's very interesting to a lot of people. I think it is appealing definitely to a lot of people, not just myself. I think it's also a majority of people would like to be famous in some type of way, right? And so the reason why it's kind of cool for them, for us, is because we never see the negative side effects because we've never been famous. So, like, if we were famous, we don't see the negative aspects of it, but we see only the positives. And so what I'm going to say is, like, fan interactions, for me, someone who doesn't talk to a lot of people, who doesn't interact with a lot of people, who doesn't get a lot of comments, who doesn't have a lot of followers, right, would be pretty cool, right? Like, imagine I walk down the street and I see someone, or like someone comes up to me, it's like, oh, Dacob, I love you, bro, that will make my whole day, my whole week, bro. But oftentimes, right, the people that are actually famous, fan interactions become a bit concerning, in the sense that, like, let's just like scrap the idea of being close with the like a fan coming up to you. Let's talk about, like, the fan interactions where people are, like, stalking you and they're constantly scrolling through your feed and just waiting for you. It's like, that's kind of scary for those famous people, especially if that's done across a large surplus of people, right? There's probably like a few hundred. When you have like 100 of million followers, there's probably like a few hundred or thousand people that are fans that are like fully obsessed with you. For me, it's like, oh, cool, man, I love you that you're obsessed with me, right? Thank you, give me more, please. But for like famous people, I can see why that would be concerning. I can see why, you know, for Mr. Beast, if he goes outside, he ain't coming back home until like 3-4 hours later, because there's going to be a line just wanting to take photos with him. So he has to order someone else to pick up the stuff to bring it to his house, or to get equipment. Like, he can't just go, right? And I think when it comes to that point, that's when I start to draw the line. Or that's when, like, I can see why being famous is so weird. But for me, man, just imagine there's like a little kid that comes up to you and is like, bro, I love your stuff, bro. Can I take a photo? Can I see your phone, man? Like, I want to upload this. I want to tell all my friends that I met you. Like, that's so cool to me personally, right? Like, I'm so grateful for that. But I think that's why fan interactions is unique, is weird, right? Because when you're famous, or when you're getting famous, you love that, because it's just the perfect amount where it doesn't ruin your day, it doesn't take away from what you're actually aiming to do. But when you get really famous, then that's when it starts to take away from what you're able to do, or what you're able to complete. Like, if people come up to you constantly and they're like, oh man, blah 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 blah, and you just don't even have time, then that's when it becomes a hindrance. But I think for a majority of people who have never been famous and never will be famous, the glimpse of being a bit famous is so sick and so appealing. Like me, right? I agree. Being famous is cool, but I think it always comes to a cost, and I think that cost is often tough to see. Many famous people always say, like, oh, yeah, like many famous people just say, like, oh, bro, it's more glamorous than you think it is. It's not as cool as you think it is. And I think for the most part that is true. So that's my opinion on fan relationships. What I will want to say quickly before the tangent, right? I think all people, or like 99% of famous people, are actually so genuinely happy when they meet a fan. It's just that there are oftentimes those fans who take it to the extreme and take it too far, and that's where they draw the line, if that makes sense, right? So those are the people where the line is drawn, where it starts to become weird for them, right? But majority of famous people, if you came up to them, they're so kind, so chill. Okay, off on another tangent. My favorite artist, one of my favorite artists, might be my favorite, is Jacob Collier, okay? And he was the only reason that I played music or got into music into the first place. So why am I saying that? Because the first time that I met him in person, right, he went to play and perform. When I met him in person, my brothers were so chill. They're like, oh, Jacob, what's your favorite chord, bro? Like, tell me what your favorite chord on guitar is. And he's just ripping some chords or some notes. I'm like, damn, that's sick, bro. But for me, I'm shaking and I'm like kind of shocked. And the way he approached me is like he softly shook my hand. He shook the hell out of my brother's hands, right? Like it was a firm handshake. For me, I think he's like, oh, this kid's kind of lost. Like, this kid, I don't want to hurt him. He might be on some type of disease. So he was like, he softly shook my hand. He's like, oh, thank you. And then the way he talked is just like so human, so down to earth, right? And I think with Jacob Collier, he is famous, but he's not at that stardom that famous people are at, right? And so oftentimes the people that we idolize, the people that we like a lot, are just regular humans, but we come up with that perception. And I think only the higher echelons of very famous people deal with the negative consequences of being famous. I think people that are like famous, who can live off of their fame to some sort of degree, are pretty happy with the fact that people come up to them and talk to them, because they're not that famous. The people that are that famous, bruv, it must suck for them. That's just what I'm thinking. Like, they have to like hide their address because people come up to their address and break into their house. And not only that, they feel nervous and unsafe when they live in their own homes. Yeah, not me, alright? I wouldn't want that anyways. But yeah, continue with the story, man. Like, I think that perspective of meeting Jacob Collier made my week, made my day, because to be honest with you, if I was ever famous, I would react the exact same way. And it reminded me, like, remember this. I just told myself, remember this. If you get famous, just remember this, because the feeling that I got was amazing. It was the best feeling that I ever had, right? And I think a lot of people can empathize with me along this, right? There's someone that you idolize. It could be, any type of famous person, like an actor, musician, could be like a fitness influencer. It could be anyone, right, that you idolize. Like parents you can idolize, but people that you idolize that are famous, and you meet them for the first time and they talk to you, it's different, right? And I think everyone has their own experiences, and I know some people never had a good experience, or some people had really good experiences, but my experience was so good that I was like nervous, and he just made me feel calm. And I was like, don't forget this, please, just don't forget this. And so, like, back to Andrew, bro, like, thank you, Andrew, I won't forget it. Thank you, seriously. And I feel bad. All right, so you can like, I think I got one subscriber. I don't know if it's you, Andrew. Please, if it's you, bro, feel free to unsubscribe at any time. Okay. All right. Don't be afraid. All right. Cool. Okay. So now, I was going to talk about. I was going to talk about how I had no ideas, and I feel bad because I wanted to upload something. I wrote it down. Yes, I got it. Okay, sorry. Let's continue. Let's just keep this rolling, all right? This is what, 14 minutes? Psh, super quick, super short. Okay, so off on another tangent, right? That's all I thought about fan relationships, and I know that it's different for everyone, and I know that for some people they're more famous than others, and blah blah blah. You get the gist. Anyways, so I wrote this down on a Google Doc. It's called Podcast Ideas. Can I change this into dark mode? Damn, I don't think I can, because it's kind of bright. Anyways, this is what I was going to say. Okay. I feel bad. Bro, this is so bright though. Like, this is so bright. I can't. Come on. Like, this is like, bro, this is too bright. Bro, do I change this? Okay, whatever. You guys are just going to see an orange screen. I have nightlight on because it's getting dark. I just wanted to get this out of my system talking. Anyways, you're going to see my face. Orange is crap. Cool? Alright, cool. Or maybe I can turn down that. Nah, it's fine. You guys don't mind an orange looking face. Anyways, podcast, right? I feel bad because I want to upload semi-consistently, and it's been like over 2 weeks since I last uploaded, but it's because like I couldn't do anything. Like I would upload, but YouTube doesn't let me upload 45-minute long podcasts, right? So I would don't get it twisted, all right? Andrew, please don't get it twisted, Andrew, all right? But I was going to talk about the fact that I don't know what to talk about, and I feel inclined to talk about something, to upload something, and realize that's kind of worse, because I know that me personally, I wouldn't want to listen to someone who didn't have something to say. And so I was like thinking, what do I talk about? But I have a bunch of junk ideas that I'm just gonna quickly blare out, talk about it really quickly, and then I'll end this episode. So we'll see how long this goes for, right? So that was one thing, not knowing what to talk about on this podcast. I was gonna make an episode about not knowing what to talk about. Okay, so first thing is drinking water. That's actually what I wrote down, drinking water. Thank you for listening. Okay. So, podcast wise, drinking water. No joke, right? When I was talking about my previous podcast, which was 45 minutes long, it was about FOMO, right? Towards the end, my voice was gone. And I feel bad for drinking water because I feel like I'm leaving gaps in the podcast because I don't want to edit this, right? It takes too long. And I don't have the time nor the effort that I really want to edit it, right? So I feel bad drinking water because I want to give you guys as much bang for your buck, right? Without me losing my most bang for my buck. But I see podcast people drink water. I see people drink water when they're just chatting and talking. So I should drink water, which I just did. Cool. One thing, bang. I had nothing to talk about. What is nothing? Number 2. Other thing that I want to talk about is what is nothing, bro. And like, by doing nothing, aren't you proactively, as a byproduct, doing something? Right? So like, let's use an example, right? Let's say like Andrew. Sorry, Andrew, if you're actually listening to this, man, you should get out, bro. You should get out. Stop listening to this because it's going to be you only that's listening to this. But let's say like Andrew, bro. He's like, man, I don't know what to talk about, right? So Andrew's like going to his mom. He's like, Mom, I don't even know what to do. Or as a byproduct, he's talking to his mom. He's standing up. He's talking about something. He's talking about nothing, which is by byproduct talking about something, right? So that's like 3, 4, 5 different things. And so when you think about it, nothing is a byproduct of doing something. And so a good example is like, let's say Andrew, bro, wanted to meditate. He wanted to get into that deep zone of focus, and the only way he could do that is by meditating. Well, meditating is a byproduct of focusing on your breath, breathing in and out, relaxing your body, focusing just on the breath. Those things include in meditation, or listening to the person that's running the meditation, right? But as a byproduct of trying to stop thinking about things and doing nothing, you're actually doing something. I don't know. Pretty cool, right? So that's one thing. That's two things done. Cool. Another thing. This is just what I wrote. I feel a need to extend how long I talk for, because I just come to the assumption that people who listen to my podcast do so while doing other tasks like driving, cleaning their house, etc. That's why the previous episode was 45 minutes long. I might have dragged it out. I don't know. I'm just talking. Truly, I'm just talking. So if you're listening, thank you. If you're not, whatever, right? But the reason why I did that, right, because I feel like with all podcasts, when I'm listening to podcasts, I'm brushing my teeth, I'm doing my night routine, I'm taking a shower, or I'm walking through the house, I'm cleaning the house, I'm listening to a podcast, like how I listen to music. And usually when I do those things, it's for a prolonged period of time, like while I'm driving or whatever. And so I feel like there's a need for me to extend how long I talk for, because then I feel like I'm giving you guys more value, even though I might not be giving you guys value. Or I feel bad if I just do a 15-minute episode, because then Andrew's going to leave because he has nothing else to do, and he's going to walk across to the street and listen to an actual podcast that's like 2 hours long, which by all means do that, Andrew, please, I insist. Andrew's going to just be a household name at this point. But if you guys would rather shorter content, like 15 minutes long, like I just think of cool ideas and I talk about it, would you rather more long form debates, which goes for like an hour long, or an hour 30 or whatever, so you can listen to it whilst you're driving? Cool. I feel like I need an incentive to talk for longer, even though it doesn't add much value. What is value? Right? That's my fourth point. This is just random junk that I had in my head. So value, what value do I add? What value do you guys need? What is valuable, right? Do you find this valuable? Probably not, right, Andrew? I'm gonna stop with it. But yeah, probably not, right? Like, you're probably just using this as a type of distraction, which is cool. But what is valuable to you? Is it valuable if I go line by line and I tell you specific points by points what you should and shouldn't be doing? That seems pretty good. I don't know, it seems pretty good to me. Anyways, the last point, so that's 5. And just random stuff along the way. Hopefully you become more comfortable to talk without being scared of losing your train of thought. Cool. So that's probably a message to myself, but I'll say it out loud, right? Byproduct of doing the podcast, for me, it's just to be able to talk confidently without losing my train of thought. And I often lose my train of thought when I'm trying to talk about different ideas, but if I can be concise, finish my sentence, finish my thought that I was about to say, and then hop off on another tangent or whatever, then it's much more easy and much more enjoyable for you as a listener to listen to, because you understand my A point to B point without getting confused when I go A, C, D, J, H, back to B. Like, it's too confusing if I jump off on different tangents. So I try to keep things concise, and that's a byproduct of doing the podcast. Maybe you like the fact that I do jump off on different tangents, and maybe you don't. Okay, Andrew, let me know. But that's all. So, fan relationships, right? I usually never talk about it, but I really want to enforce, if you follow me on any of my other accounts, which I will not link below because I don't want you to waste your time. If you do, don't think that I'm not reading your comments, because truthfully, I'm not intentionally doing so. It's just that it never pops up on my notification, and oftentimes when I do reply, I feel like I'm replying just out of a need to reply, not because I want to reply. Right, and it's like what I said about the live stream thing. Like, I feel bad for you to stay in my live stream just because you're the only one in there. It's kind of the same for me when it comes to commenting. I feel bad to solely comment because I feel bad that you commented on my thing that I need to comment back. So that's why I just don't comment across the board. Because if I comment on one person, I feel obligated to comment on everyone else's, which is just me thing. I know no one cares. No one's going to think about it at all, but it's just something that I think about consciously. So anyways, that was one thing that I want to talk about, fan relationships. And then the second thing that I managed to fit in this really quickly is not knowing what to talk about in podcast ideas and feeling a need to upload something short form or long form. And so if you guys enjoy this, all right, it's been 25 minutes of me just chatting against the screen. If you enjoyed it, thank you. I truly appreciate it. Now I gotta go do some music, right? But what should I talk about next? Give me some comments below. Thanks, Andrew, bro. You're a real one. If I see Andrew subscribed and comment on this one, man, God bless, bro. I feel so bad because I'm please, whatever you do, Andrew, just don't comment on this one, please, because then I feel like you're obligated to do so when you didn't actually want to comment. Okay, so please just don't comment I'll just talk about random stuff, and then maybe you come back in like 2 years and be like, oh, I forgot about this kid. Damn, he only uploaded like 200 videos since then. Yeah. But hopefully, I'm trying to drag it out to 25 minutes. Like, what am I doing? It's already been 25 minutes long. Like, hopefully you guys just truly enjoyed this, right? Fan interactions, fan relationships is something that I would strive to get, right? Strive to be. I want to be someone that's, idolized. I remember that Jacob Collier story, right? So that's something that I would want. But hopefully we understand, or become a general understanding of why certain famous people say it's a bit much, right? If you think logically, it might be too much for them because they can't live normally anymore, which who doesn't want to live normally? Anyway, I will catch you guys in the next episode. Hopefully you guys have seen the FOMO episode. If not, watch it. If you've not seen the first episode about bad internet, watch it. And if you can, subscribe and like, can't a man ask for something else? No, I'm joking. I'm playing, guys. I'm playing. Come on, man. I'm just playing. Come on.